An interesting report from David Schoenfeld has revealed that the Yankees are in on another infielder that we'd previously discussed, but now reports are heating up. We're going to be talking about Willy Adames and his connection to the New York Yankees in this recent article, and I gotta say, this is getting absolutely wild. We're going to be talking about all of this here in this video. Before we get into it, though, we know that 70% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your New York Yankees news, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button. Join us here on the channel. We're covering everything New York Yankees, and as we get closer and closer to the Juan Soto signing date, we have a lot more reports to go down as well, and you're not going to want to miss anything that we have to bring you. But without any further ado, let's get into it. This is a pretty crazy report, actually, from a Yankees are targeting an infielder, and that infielder is Willy Adames. And we've known that Willy Adames has been a target for a while, but this report has revealed that things are kind of increasing. Things are getting a bit closer than Yankees fans may like, and I'll get to why in a moment. But I want to pull up our first screenshot here of this one saying, the bad news is the analyst predicts Soto will sign a massive contract with the New York Mets, something that has been kind of on our topic lately, but we know that the Yankees, as Chris mentioned in the previous video, have upped their offer, so hopefully that changes. But Schoenfeld has offered Milwaukee Brewers shortstop Willy Adames as a potential option to replace Soto's hitting. The analyst predicted that the Yankees will sign Willy Adames for a 7-year, $189 million contract. Now, this is an absolutely wild contract for Willy Adames, and there's no doubt in my mind that he is very good. He is a very, very good hitter, a very good fielder, but I don't know if Willy Adames is worth $189 million over 7 years. This is a much more expensive contract than what he's previously at $12 million, and the fact that we're seeing Willy Adames, who really has heated up the past few seasons, but really shown out in this previous season, getting targeted at this number. This one is a bit extreme, and I don't mind the Yankees targeting Willy Adames, of course, but they need to get their priorities in order before they actually go out and spend willy-nilly and look at Willy Adames as this price tag. We know the Yankees are looking for pitching. They're looking to obviously re-sign Juan Soto, and that is their main priority at this very moment of recording this video, and I would say up until Juan Soto is signed, we're looking for a first baseman. We're looking for many, many other things, and the fact that we have Willy Adames as one of the top targets at this price for an infielder is something that the Yankees need to consider before actually pulling the trigger on this. And as I mentioned, Adames is likely headed for a sizable raise from his $12.2 million salary in 2024, and Spotrac projects that Willy Adames' market value is to be 6 years, $152.2 million. So a year over than what Spotrac is predicting for the Yankees, obviously, projection for him. And that comes out to about double his contract, to about 25 point something million dollars a season. Now, for an infielder like Willy Adames, who we know is good, there's no doubt about that, and what his assets will bring to the Yankees is certainly something that they're going to consider. Now, at that price tag, we know the Yankees have money to spend. You know that if they don't get Juan Soto, and hopefully they do, they're going to have to spend a lot of money, and they're going to be spending a lot of money to kind of fill the gaps at which Juan Soto brings, but over multiple positions. And we've had Christian Walker mentioned at first base. We have Nolan Arenado mentioned at first base. Multiple different options at first base. Multiple different starting pitchers. Now that Blake Snell is gone to the Dodgers, that's another target for the Yankees off the board, and they may start to get a bit more picky on who they may choose to get in pitching targets. Now that's one of the top targets in Blake Snell is gone. The infield is still a certain thing that the Yankees are going to want to work with, especially with the absence in the outfield, whether they want to move Jazz Chisholm to center field, whether they want to move him to second base. There's many options the Yankees can choose to do, and they're going to have to pick and choose their battles to start off with. But at Willy Adames' factor and the way that we're seeing him and his price tag kind of linger around that mark, this is something that I don't know if the Yankees are going to fully commit to at that price tag. And I do have a quote here from David Schoenfeld, and this is what he has to say. Soto is irreplaceable on a one-for-one basis, so the Yankees would use the money meant for Soto to sign multiple players. Let's start with Adames, who would shift from shortstop to third base, which would give the Yankees the option to move Jazz Chisholm Jr. to either center field, with Aaron Judge sliding back to right, or second base. So it seems like the Yankees are going to have a plan to kind of work with what they want to do in this scenario, whether they're trying to move Jazz Chisholm to center field, and that's something they're going to have to work with as well. And this is all assuming that Juan Soto does not become a Yankee once again, which we're still hoping is the main case. But with that price tag for Willy Adames at just say third base, that puts him along the lines with guys like Rafael Devers, Dansby Swanson, Bobby Witt Jr., Xander Bogaerts, some of these best MLB infielders. Willy Adames' name is getting put among those price tags, and even more than some of them. And I don't know if the Yankees are willing to commit to Willy Adames full price, I guess we could say. And we're familiar with Willy Adames. We've seen him with the Rays, where he really wasn't as good he is now as what he was over the past few seasons with the Milwaukee Brewers. But looking at this season, the past few, as you see, Milwaukee has had a major increase in his stats. A 251 average last year, 33 home runs, a 794 OPS. Really just putting up some great stats and 10th in MVP voting. But is he consistent enough to be able to do this over coming seasons? Is he capable enough to kind of keep this consistency with the Yankees? And I think that's a big thing to consider as well. On a 7-year contract, currently at 28 years old, be 35 by the time this expires, we never really know how much the age will impact Willy Adames. And you don't really know how much age will impact any player. But the fact that we've seen some from Willy Adames, we've seen good, we've seen bad, we've kind of seen a mix of both. He's starting to heat up in his career, but we don't know at what point he will reach his peak. He may be at his peak now, which is something that the Yankees are going to have to consider of paying him $25 million a season for, 7 years, whatever they're asking for him or whatever he's asking for. So this is definitely an interesting thing to look at, especially with the concept of being able to move around the infield, move players around, kind of fill out an infield with some elite talent, which they will get if Juan Soto does not sign with the money. But looking at as well the infield, I want to pull this up to kind of go into what Schofield is saying and kind of moving around the player. So as you see, Jazz Chisholm there at second base, that is the option that I think a lot of us are leaning towards. We know that Jazz Chisholm is definitely a great infielder. He's already a fan favorite in New York with the short time he's been there, and he's only going to get better. I mean, he's only 23, 24 years old, however old he is. He has a lot of potential to work with. But then you see, starting at third base as well, Oswaldo Cabrera, DJ LeMahieu behind him. Oswaldo Cabrera being that current second baseman right now, there are options, of course, to move Jazz to second. But if you do end up doing that, you have the opportunity to play Willy Adames likely at third. Shortstop will be Anthony Volpe, and second will be Oswaldo Cabrera, assuming you don't add any more infielders other than first base, because first base is going to be its own kind of category, and I know that there are options of putting Oswaldo Cabrera there too as well, but I really don't want to believe any of those. I'm still thinking the Yankees want to go after a star first baseman, along with at least one star infielder and a star outfielder. All, of course, keep this in mind if Juan Soto does not resign. I think that's what we're all kind of waiting for before the Yankees actually pull the trigger on any moves. I think that's what a lot of free agents are doing, are waiting for Juan Soto to go before teams start to offer these big contracts, which obviously is the smart thing to do for a lot of these players. So I want to know what you guys think about Willy Adames. Obviously, John Morosi's reported this in the past. Many other reporters have reported Willy Adames linked to the Yankees in the past, but it really does seem like now the Yankees have at least a plan going forward if Juan Soto doesn't sign, what they want to do, some possibilities of potentially moving Jazz to the outfield, keeping him at second base, maybe keeping Willy Adames at shortstop. You never really know what the Yankees want to do, but Willy Adames is an option. Is his price tag worth it? I'm not really sure. I want to know what you guys think, because the Yankees are going to have a lot of spending to do in this offseason, regardless of if it's Juan Soto or not. But that's all I got in this video. If you did enjoy it, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. Your support's been absolutely incredible on the channel lately, and we do appreciate every single one of you guys. But that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.